Welcome to the Business Mumma podcast, where we chat about creating a business that supports and flows with your family and with your life, not the other way around. Hi, I'm your host, Annalise Swan. I'm a marketing agency owner and a mother of 3 little ones. I'll be bringing you conversations with successful women in business, as well as practical marketing strategies and tips that you can action right away. So let's get into it. I wanted to talk about a bit of a 2019 wrap up, and it can be easy to feel a little bit defeated at the end of the year, especially if you didn't reach your goals or you're not exactly where you wanted to be. We all have really big vision for our year at the start of 2019, and it may or may not have come to pass. And either way, we are where we are, and that's okay. That's okay. And if we didn't do all that we could have done this year, then it's really important to debrief and to look at our year honestly and reflect honestly, even if that is painful. So that's what I thought that we would chat about today, and we can step through it and get really practical about what that looks like, what that looking back at the year looks like, and how we can do that holistically. So to do that, I would like to talk about the 8 dimensions of well-being again, because I think that it's a really good basis for assessment. So the 8 dimensions of well-being are physical, social, vocational, intellectual, financial, emotional, spiritual, and environmental. So in this way, if we look at each of these 8 areas, we're going to get a really good perspective of where we're at. So if we start with physical, and you think about you in your body, and where is your physical fitness, your nutrition, and just your physical maintenance, so looking after your skin and all of that. And rate yourself on the physical side, how you're feeling on a scale of 1 to 10. So 1 being absolutely terrible, sick in bed, not where you want to be at all, versus 10 out of 10, amazing energy, vibrant, looking after your body, exercising regularly, all of that. So rate yourself on the scale of 1 to 10 of where you are right now. And wherever that is, that's okay. Don't beat yourself up about it. It's just a benchmark, so that then we can put a plan in place to increase that number to where we actually want it to be, if it needs to be increased. And then we're going to move across to the social side. With social, think about your friendships and your relationships with your family and your other loved ones. Are you doing fun things with them? Are you talking with them regularly on the phone? Are your relationships in your social life, is it where you want it to be? Again, rate it on the scale of 1 to 10, with 1's on the low end and 10, of course, is on the high end, and it's exactly where you want to be. And it may be hard to put this on a scale of 1 to 10 if you haven't done the assessment of figuring out what your social life and your relationships actually look like in an ideal world. So for my husband and I, we go through this sort of holistic well-being assessment fairly regularly, and we have it documented how many times we want to see family and how many times we want to hang out with our friends, and what sort of, how often we should be calling loved ones in nursing homes and that sort of thing, or going to visit. So we know where we want to be. And so then it's a really easy benchmark. It's really easy to analyze where we are in relation to that ideal. And we never reach the ideal, but in some areas we do, which is great, and we're always working towards that. But life is busy and life happens, and I think it's going to be really rare that we ever hit 10 out of 10 on all 8 of these, but we can dream, right? All right, so the next one is vocational. So this is about your work. It's not about the finance side. Finance side is separate. So vocation is about how happy are you in what you're doing in your vocation. So are you in the job that you want to be in? Do you feel like you are making the impact that you were made to make? Are you really living in your purpose, in your vocation, whether that is your own business or in your job role? How satisfied are you in your vocational endeavors from 1 to 10? And put that down. Again, be really honest. This is for you so that we can improve your whole life. It's not about beating yourself up or about kind of sugarcoating it. We just want to be really honest. All right, the next one is intellectual well-being. So here we're going to look at how happy you are with the things that you are learning and your progress of learning. So are there things that you wanted to learn this year, like a language or a software program or something else? And how happy are you with your current schedule in incorporating that into your life? So for me, I really wanted to progress with learning Greek this year, and I haven't at all. It's in my calendar every Saturday morning, and I haven't done it for months and months and months. So for me, this one's kind of low, but I have been learning lots in the business sphere and really upskilling in different software and that kind of thing. So on the vocational side, I'm pretty good. The personal side of the intellectual learning, language learning, and learning to paint better, those things have really slipped, but that's okay. So again, rate yourself 1 to 10. Where are you at on your intellectual well-being? How satisfied do you feel in that area of your life? Then is financial. So think about where you're at with your finances. And I know, again, it's a tricky time of year. It's an expensive time of year with lots of events and gift giving and all of that stuff. But how happy do you feel in your position financially? Has it been a really great year? Did you tick all the boxes that you wanted to achieve financially, or have you not? And it's okay. And this area can be quite painful, I guess. Maybe painful is the wrong word. It can be a bit confronting when you really look at the finances. I know for me, if I'm feeling overwhelmed in this area, I just don't look at it. But I've really forced myself to be looking at the numbers in our business at least once a week so that I'm really, really aware and I know where we're at, and I can't just shut my eyes to it, even though sometimes that's what I would like to do. So rate your financial health, your financial happiness, your financial satisfaction from 1 to 10. Now, for a lot of people, this will also include having a budget, a personal budget. And if you have stuck to that or not might be a good idea of the benchmark in this area. Next is emotional well-being. So this one is all about your emotional intelligence, your emotional well-being, how well you've regulated your emotions, how you respond in situations, how you feel when you wake up and when you go to sleep and throughout the day. So really, this is all about how you're feeling. So it's totally subjective. Are you feeling how you want to feel? Do you have the emotional stability that you would like to have during the day? I know for me, I am generally more grumpy with the children or more rushed with the children and quick to get my mum voice on than I would like. I'm really working on my patience, which is going to be a lifelong endeavor, I feel. But think about your emotions in all areas of your life when you are doing this assessment. Next is spiritual, whatever that means to you. For me, that means that I have God in my life and I base my benchmark on the time that I want to be spending in devotions and worship and all of that stuff. So that is how I base my spiritual benchmark, is how much I am sticking to the routine that I want to have in that area, but that could be totally different for you. Maybe for you it is how spiritual you feel, how much you have been getting in touch with that side of you, whether that's just getting out into nature and really connecting with that spiritual side of you. So whatever that looks like for you, again, rate how you feel in that area from 1 to 10. The last one is environmental. So this is how you feel in your environments that you're in. So is your home how you would like it to be? Is it, and I mean, we are living in a house in a rental. We've got 3 children in one room. We've got boxes stacked behind the couch because it's a small house and we don't have room to unpack all of our belongings. And for us, it is a season we're building our home. So for me, this area means that our bedroom is organized, that although we have boxes stacked behind the couch, we don't have clutter everywhere, that when I open a drawer, I know what's in it and there's not, 100 things that I don't need or rubbish and all of that thing. So, and that my desk is clear when I get to work. So they're the environmental things that influence my well-being. So think about how that is for you in your personal environment. And then if you would like to think about your extended environment in that around you, you can do that as well. So again, label that from 1 to 10. So that's the 8 areas of well-being that we will have done the assessment on. And so your top score, if you add them all up, is going to be 80. So if you then calculate your number and see what that is for you out of 80, then we're going to have a really good idea about what this year has left us, the state that it's left us in. And we can put really good plans then around each area and about how to boost that to be where we want it to be. And for me, that's what this looking back on 2019 is about. So it's not only about looking within the business, which we are, yes, very much doing. It's also about looking at my life holistically and my well-being holistically, because if I am feeling great in my well-being, if I'm looking after myself, and if I'm happy in all of these areas of my life, then I'm going to be more self-confident. I'm going to feel better about myself, and I'm going to take that confidence into my business and into my relationships, into every area of my life, and it's going to positively affect that. Whereas if my well-being is low, then I'm taking that low state, that low energy into every area of my life. And then how can I expect that to be where I want it to be if the energy that I'm taking with me is not what I want? So I think we need to look forward and look at where we want to be able to get there. And then, yes, quickly look backwards, but then implement those plans and execute on improving our well-being in every area so that we can get our business and our life to be where we want it to be. So really live that business and life by design. So if we're then going to talk about our business and looking back in our business, what we need to do is really look at the income generators in our business and the things that went really well, better than we thought. Now, generally, 80% of our income is going to be coming from 20% of our business activities. So then it's a really broad rule, but most of the time we have certain areas in our business that are generating more income than others. And that's what we need to assess is, are we happy with what we're doing in our business? Are we happy with the level of income that we're getting? Are we happy with that we have the funnel in place to be generating the sales that we need and that we want? And what I've really been pushing myself to do this last month is not make business decisions based on where we are in the business, but make business decisions in light of where I want to be. So we run a 6-figure business at the moment, and that's wonderful, and that's a really great achievement. That was one of our big goals, and we've achieved that, so yay. But next is, how do we then move to multiple 6 figures or 7 figures, and what decisions do I need to make in my business, and how do I need to structure it in order to allow that? Because if I make decisions in my business based on the fact that we're six figures, and then I'm just going to continue to perpetuate that, and they're the results I'm going to get. So if I base my decisions on where we are, I'm just going to get more of it. Whereas what I would like to see is growth in my business. So I need to make decisions like we are already where I want to be. And that includes hiring people before you're ready, or includes changing your product offering, or raising your pricing, or changing the software that you use, and implementing things that are kind of, pulling out the bazooka when you might not need that quite yet. For us, that's what I have been pushing myself to do over the last few months, and will continue to do this month as we refine our strategy for 2020. So I think that is it from me this week. I hope that encouraged you to look back on 2019 and really do that full holistic life assessment, and so that you look at your well-being as a whole and really think about how that is going to affect your business. And in your business, look at what worked well, do more of that. Look at the things that didn't go so well, do less of that. And then make decisions in your business based on where you want to be before you're ready. Because then if you're aiming towards that, then that's where you're looking, and you're not looking back and you're not looking sideways. You're really focusing on moving your business forward to where you want it to be. And then your business can become all you want it to be. All right, that's it from me. Have a wonderful week. I hope that 2019 was all that you wanted it to be, but also if it was not, don't lose heart, don't give up, keep going, get yourself back up, even though it's the end of the year, even though we're tired, and get that excitement back up for 2020, because it's going to be a really good one. All right, I'll chat to you next time. Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to the Business Mumma podcast. I hope you got some actionable tips that you can implement in your business right away. Please, please, please rate and subscribe, and then head on over to mumma.digital to continue the conversation and let me know what you thought. Have a really wonderful week, and if you'd like to come and say hi, come to our Facebook group, Business Mummas. See you there.